Hey guys, we're here, February 2nd edition of NBA Game Day, Basketballer. We are talking about Clippers versus Nets here, perhaps the biggest game for this game day. And then before we start, I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed in our YouTube channel yet, Basketballer. Please click on that subscribe button below and also hit on that bell logo so that automatically you will be receiving notifications as soon as we have a new video up. Again, Los Angeles Clippers versus Brooklyn Nets. Just earlier, I've been receiving a lot of questions already. What's my prediction about this game? Who do I think would win and all that? And here we are. Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about the standings first of both teams. One belongs to the East and the other from the West. Let's start with the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets is actually the number three or the third team from the East Conference, and they have a record of 13 wins and 9 losses. The latest game that they had was a loss, and that was against Washington Wizards. I don't know if you watched that game, but it was a crazy game, for real. If you haven't watched that game, please check it out in your NBA League Pass or YouTube. Just watch it, man. Again, 13 wins, 9 losses. That's for Brooklyn Nets, and for Los Angeles Clippers, they're the number one team of the West with 16 wins and 5 losses. And they're actually carrying a 3-game winning streak with them. And amazingly, for the last 10 games of the Clippers, they've actually won 9. So, yeah, they are really on a roll. Okay, so this is a very interesting matchup because we all know that Los Angeles Clippers, they have perhaps the one of the best duo of the league in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, while the Brooklyn Nets got I don't know, perhaps the strongest big three in the NBA right now: Harden, Durant, and Kyrie. So they're going up. I guess this is the first time that they would be, meeting these two teams. This is the first time that these two teams would actually go up against one another. So this is very interesting. This game would actually be held at Brooklyn. So Brooklyn has this home court advantage in terms of fatigue. Both teams did not play last night, so that shouldn't be much of a factor. Let me review. Yeah, both teams had a rest last night, so they should be all good and they should be prepared for this game. And I'm looking at the spread. Man, this is a toss coin, honestly. LA Clippers is given the plus with +1, and Brooklyn is given the -1, perhaps because again this is their home. This must really be a toss coin. Anyone can just win. But let me, of course, we got a pick, so I would have to make a selection and a prediction here. I think it's quite obvious that these two teams are perhaps two of the best offensive teams in the entire NBA. These two teams can actually score 100 points easily, and 100 points, say, we are just in the third quarter, or we are, fourth quarter has just started, and they are already at 100 points because that's how offensive these two teams are. And that could actually be a good thing to watch. This team would actually make a three, and then the other one would make a dunk, and then the other one would make a dribble drive there. Man, they could actually do pretty much everything. Just imagine James Harden and KD, and the other one we got Kawhi posting up and Paul George taking a three. Man, this is awesome. In terms of defense, I think Clippers has the advantage. Clippers has a slight advantage over Brooklyn. They're actually known for that. Aside from being offensive, Clippers is also known that they are physical and and they can actually play defense. Not that much for Brooklyn Nets, but my take on this is that we all agree that they're both offensive, right? But I think in terms of offense, Brooklyn has the advantage. and simply because they have more power, they have more guns, I would have to say. Um, Brooklyn has Brooklyn has the big three. Clippers has the 1-2 punch. And I know some would say, but hey, but the Clippers got Ibaka. The Clippers got Batum. The Clippers got who could be the starting point guard of the Clippers here? Patrick Beverly is out, by the way, so it must be Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson is also a scorer. But man, look at this starting five of the of the Brooklyn Nets. We got DeAndre Jordan and and Harris joining the starting five. Joe Harris for the Brooklyn Nets, and all five can easily score. Harris can easily take a 3 point shot. Harris is also improving in terms of doing dribble drives, and of course DeAndre Jordan is just waiting out. Is just waiting down there for for a drop pass or waiting for a follow up dunk. In terms again, even in the starting five, I can see more offense or more points for Brooklyn Nets. Now let's go to the bench. I'm talking about the bench now. Now, hands up, Brooklyn has more scoring capability as compared to the Clippers. I'm talking about Bruce Brown. I'm talking about Jeff Green, who's actually having a tremendous season, by the way. TLC, um, Shamet. Uh, I'm not sure about Shumpert if he would be available. Shumpert is more of a defensive player. But look at that. We got Bruce Brown who can easily score like 10 points in each night. And again, TLC is already improving. And again, Landry Shamet. Man, those three can easily give them 10 points each. Plus, Jeff Green has been consistent as a supporter of the bench. Now, if we would compare it to the bench that Clippers has, the only people that I can see who could possibly support them offensively would be Luke Kennard and Zubac. Well, could be Patterson, but I'm not even sure if Patterson would start or if Patterson would go off the bench because when he played against the Knicks, that was just I don't know, third game or fourth game in this season. Patrick Patterson hasn't been playing lately for the Clippers. So Lou Williams, of course, but again the options. It seems like Brooklyn has more options, and again the offensive capability. I'm still giving it to Brooklyn Nets. So I'm get the home court advantage. I'm giving it to Brooklyn. Fatigue. Let's scrap that out. Both teams are actually good. Are actually okay. Now, in terms of momentum, I'm giving it to Clippers because they've been winning. In terms of offense, I'm picking Brooklyn Nets on this. In terms of defense, I'm all right. I'm gonna give a slight advantage to Clippers, but there's this one factor, and I'm gonna go back to the momentum here. I think Brooklyn Nets got something to prove in the entire Earth or in the entire universe when they lost the game against Washington Wizards. Perhaps I don't know. Is Washington Wizards the worst team right now in terms of the record? I think so. Yeah, if not the worst, perhaps the second worst team. I'm sure it hit them hard. They were embarrassed, and that has something to do with this game. For sure, they would be fired up. I know I said momentum would be in Clippers' end, but this is something else. This is motivation. They don't want to go out there, and be embarrassed again. They just lost to Cleveland Cavaliers twice. Like a week ago, and there they will go again. They lost against Washington Wizards when we thought that when they've already figured things out. So this is a good opportunity for them to show everyone that we are Brooklyn Nets. We have figured things out already, and we are a legit contender. So that's one X factor that I gotta say. That loss against Washington Wizards can actually give them extra push for them to win this game. So I'm picking Brooklyn Nets on this. Brooklyn Nets -1. I know there are a lot of people who would be choosing Clippers, and how I can't blame them, right? But yeah, I'm picking Brooklyn Nets on this -1. For those who got Facebook accounts, just click on the button in the upper right hand. It says message me with the Facebook logo on it. It'll bring you to our Facebook page. Just follow and like that page. That way you can also send us messages in our Facebook page through Messenger. Okay? Stay there for the other and the remaining games. Peace out. As I love. God bless.